Says a red wreck, right? It does. Strangely comfortable and about to float. It says the red wreck on there. So, I'm going to try to look at the camera lens this time so it looks like I'm actually looking at you, right? Alright, well, we can begin, right? So, I'm gonna go take my shower later after I record this and put this out. Figure my hair is decent enough for the time being, but yes, I will take another shower for today, August 2nd, 2025. So here I am, Urban Y'all, Jesse, August 2nd, 2025, born 1995. So that means 30. I can call this video We See 30. So I got Notepad here to help signpost myself towards talking about the things of this year so far. So let's do that then. And I'm using the camcorder for this birthday vlog this time, which normally would have been the phone recording me, but I'm going to be doing the camcorder like I did 5 years ago, except I'm not outside, and it's like 1:02 a.m. in the morning right now, instead of being sometime in the afternoon on that day 5 years ago. Alright, here we go. So, things I did this year. Found it very therapeutic to watch hiking videos. It's cool to watch people talking about doing something, but it's a whole nother story when you actually watch them actually doing it. And they're really doing it. That's really nice. That's something I noticed. It's actually really cool to watch people actually do it. That's fine to have videos where you signpost people to do something by talking about it, but I also think it's really, really super cool to show videos where someone's actually doing it. Watching hiking videos and other people walking in general is just really nice. Operating from cues. Oh, this is a son of a bitch. This is a son of a bitch, but somehow I became conscious of this. I became conscious of this year. So when I say operating from cues, I mean like someone tells you to do something, you're carrying it out. Now, you remember in that video I made on Sam Lambert about generation clutter, right? And how when you're drawing from a memory, when you're remembering something, you're not just remembering what happened there, but you're remembering everything else that happened during the creation of that memory. So, if somebody told you to do something, and it was like a toxic way of like a lot of toxic energy and other stuff, as you're ruminating on it and carrying it out, you're replaying that toxicity that was lumped into it. Now, if they say it nicely, then you'll just get the nice version playing over and over. So, yeah, somehow I became conscious of this, and sometimes I just let people repeat themselves for a while, and then I wait for that clean version, and then I operate from that. But sometimes there's not much around it other than, given that you're in a position to, because I guess you can't always be in a position to, but if you could make a notepad and write it down into a notepad, and then you read it back, and you read back a text-only version, which is probably really useful in the workplace if the boss was such an a-hole and he gave you orders and it had a lot of toxic energy into it. But then you're in your computer at the workplace and you typed it into Notepad, and then you looked at the text-only version you made, and then now you're just operating off the text-only version that's clean and pure. So yeah. Also about being clean, pure, cleaning. This year I finally got my bare feet. I finally took action. I got my bare feet into the grass and dirt, and I would have like 30, 40-minute sessions. I think there's even an almost hour session I had. Remember the first time I did it? The ground was kind of wet. It was actually really nice because it just rained like the day before. So it was really nice. And I remember when I like on July 11th when I IRF'd before recording part 11 and 12 of Sonic Adventure DX. And I had this like really hyper, really good energy. Like, man, I was just going off like, ugh, wow. So it does have benefits, but I don't think I've been doing it anywhere near as much as I should be according to what I've seen and heard. So I'm not doing it often enough yet, but I would like to do it more often. No, it wasn't just July 11th, there were other instances, but that was just one where I had like a highlight that stood out to me. The energy. Yeah. Man, I'm already nostalgic for June of this year. I've been I went to I went on YouTube looking for some anime to watch, and I found like a channel, an official channel that has Lupin for like English dub, and they also got like Japanese with subs. I found this one anime. I watched like maybe 4 episodes of it so far. It's called Six God Combination Ganmars. I've had a really good time just sitting there watching it. It just felt like really comforting. It just feels like really good to watch. It's like these robots that like come together and combine their power. This is an anime, I believe. This goes back to the early 80s. Yeah. It's got that kick-ass music too. Kick-ass theme song when the robots combine. So that's really cool. I should watch more of the Six God Combination Ganmars. Oh yeah. So in March of this year, I had this urge to change. In March of this year, and if you know like one of the Runaway guys, the timing is real close to that. It might have been after that. With Stephen Amell's cat. But I don't think I consciously like right on knew about Kepler at the time. But I felt this urge. It was around the time, and I only found out about Kepler like after I changed backgrounds on my phone. But in March, I had this urge to just change my home screen and my lock screen on my phone and even my desktop computer's background to Daniel Craig, James Bond. There's like the desktop one has him like standing like this. Like I don't know how I'm gonna be able to relay this to you other than amplitude fluctuations, but it's like daytime's outside, and it's the one that I told a friend that I'm really drawn to, that image of him like wearing sunglasses. It's probably like daytime. He said it's from the movie Spectre. I've watched Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, so I got a ways to go. I did spoil myself a bit of watching the chase scenes though in those movies though, so whatever. But yeah, and then it's weird. But yeah, I felt like I needed that change, and I felt like it's really benefited me for the better in a lot of ways. Looking at him, having a picture of Daniel Craig there. There's like a couple different ones. Like the lock screen has one like on top of a building. Might be from Casino Royale during the chase. An embassy, I'm not sure, whatever it is. And then the home screen is him like, looks like he's in a crowd like looking around. It's kind of dark in there. I think that's from the final one he's in, if I'm not mistaken. James Bond. So yeah, I did change those backgrounds, and I just felt like it was the right thing to do. I felt like it's just good to have something cool to look at, something powerful to look at. Yeah, alright, so then, yeah, and then like a month later, I started going through a lot of weird different emotions and stuff. It got intense at times too, but I certainly feel like I've learned a lot, and I know that there's a lot of hurting for a while. there was a lot of hurting for a while in a lot of different ways, but you know, it helped me like in a lot of ways just get into more action. It's brought me into action more, and then I like get more active and like how do I put it? Get more active. Like I'm thinking about different things and I want to make more change. And I also realize the importance of like getting like being more active and getting that motion in my body. So hence, remember what I told you, or I started telling you guys about last year, how I figured out how since the 90s it became a popular process to pitch up music by 10 cents, which is 0.17 tones. So I revert it back down by doing minus 10 cents minus 0.17 tones, which brings a total of plus 10 to total of 0, which is now down to earth, right? And I've been lately in like in April I watched Polar Express 2004. In late June I watched Toy Story 1 with it like that too. And like a lot of cartoons and a lot of different music and stuff. But one that really stuck out to me that felt like I needed that energy, needed to have that movement energy. Um, since my birthday was getting close, was watching episodes of Ed and Eddie. Now, the way these, at the time of this recording and last time I checked not that long ago, they have those episodes cut down to like 5 minutes, maybe more, maybe less. And they do that for some reason. Because I'm pretty sure I distinctly remember those episodes being significantly longer than that. But yeah, it's been great having that motion. You know, I feel like that's like sensory and physical movement because when you listen to music or audio like that, especially if how like crazy to get in those cartoons, and the voice actors just go at it like man, oh wow. When you listen to it with the pitch reverted, you know you feel like you're surrounded by good company and you get that movement. You feel like moving and all that. So it's really great. It really is. Especially, I feel like I'm almost positive that that is something that we definitely need more of, especially in today's world. You know, all BS going on. So other way of being active is of I'm playing songs in Stepmania, but I'm exploring the songs and charts at different speeds. So I'll take like my spirit will go on by Dragon Force, but I'll slow it down by more than half. And what I found is that it gives me more time to appreciate and take in and just look at the structure of. Now, obviously, you could just go into an editor and just push the arrow keys down or page down, just look at it piece by piece and drag that out for hours and hours. But I just think it's really cool to like experience like the step charts at different speeds, and you really like come to appreciate the craftsmanship of the steps, and then you know like the way it's all sequenced and the way it's structured and all that. I felt like that was some much needed work I needed to do too. It's a different type of grind where the song just goes on longer, and I know it's slower, but you know, I'm hitting them. And it's like I'm going on this long trail, this long, thin, long chug. You know, felt like it was needed. And then also, speaking of having good company, I started using my TV more again, and I was watching the Create channel where they have like a lot of travel and cooking, and yes, of course, the legendary Bob Ross, which I got to see some episodes of this year, which is really freaking awesome, man. It's really good. Good to put on like good vibes, especially if you're like if you got alcohol and you're drinking that. And this isn't just for like watching a Create channel, but also like if you're watching like old videos of like your grandparents' house when pretty much everyone was still alive. That's a nice vibe to put on to the alcohol, especially if you are gonna have alcohol. Then you can slap that vibe onto there, and yeah, I feel like there's quite a hell of a difference doing it that way. Um, Speaking of recordings, I also found it very useful to make voice recordings of myself and listen to that on loop. So if I say something like now, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I take that part and I just loop it on the computer, then my brain's going to record that whole looping session as one straight linear track that it can just go straight through and doesn't have to string keep going back, 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 back. Instead, you just have this long linear track that was made because I actually sat there and listened to it over and over. Now, most of those recordings are in Audacity, and they're temporary recordings, meaning that I'll record something. Maybe I'll cut it. Usually, I do have it like trimmed, and then I'll loop it for a while. I'll get my loops out of it. It's usually like a 2-3 minute run per loop. And then once I do that, then I close Audacity, and then Audacity does the thing where it asks you if you want to save the project or not. I almost always say no these days when it comes to this particular thing I'm doing. So those are temporary recordings, meaning that once I get my loop out of them, then they get deleted. So that way, I don't have to worry about ever running out of disk space. Thinking. Speaking of playing things more, I'm playing that one gamma wave thing, accelerated memory, whatever you call it. It's that track I put on for the Peace Be With You, Space Ghost and Batman thing. Remember when I told you about taint gating? Well, given some people I deal with, I want to keep myself on good brainwaves. So if there is going to be like weird memories, then having that music play in the background, that means due to the law of like remembering stuff, whatever's happening during the creation of that memory, if you're going to remember that memory, that means the other stuff that was happening surrounding that will also be remembered. Those gamma waves are like really good for like something like brain or like remembering and like focus or whatever. So I'm like keeping that on and keeping myself on good brainwaves while I'm around them, and that way they can't get like a weird memory into me unscathed, which is another way of saying like cleanly. So I'm in a sense dirtying up the memory with the gamma waves, so that way if I do have to recall a memory, that means those gamma waves have to be there too, but that's given that it's actually being played during the time of the creation of that memory. Alright. And now talking about this. Been listening to the radio a lot, well, radio in general, like 96.1 The Rock, I've been listening to that. But also, sometimes I listen to AM radio, and it's 1280 AM in Oshkosh here. I know they pitch the music differently, because I know it doesn't give me that bop or anything under normal circumstances, because of overall resonance that's not necessarily granted, but there is one song on there, on the oldies, on 1280 AM. It goes like, troubled waters. And like sometimes, a lot of times lately when I hear that, that really hits me really hard. And then for some reason, like it makes me think of that picture of like what's going to be 10 years now of, it's me when I was 20 on my 20th birthday, because now I'm 30. But, yeah, that picture shows me and my dad at the table in front of like getting the frames taken, right? Because back then it was like flip Ultra HD camera recording, and then I would go into an editor and then pick out frames, and then we could print that. Yeah, so when I hear that song on there, it makes me think of that. Like, wow, that's 10 years ago now, and now, because, he passed away in November 2018. So, I just think about like how different like things have changed, like how much change there has been in the last 10 years. Like, like earlier in 2015, that's when my grandfather on my mom's side died, right? So that year was already off to some kind of weird start, you know, and my birthday, and that was later that year. But then I think about like how things changed in that whole decade. Like then, like your grandfather in 2015, but then my own father in 2018. And then my grandmother on my mom's side in 2022. But when you combine that, that's really fucked up. It really is. It's fucked up. But yeah. It really does feel like an era, you know. Heard about Ozzy and Hulk Hogan. I do remember when there was a song by Ozzy Osbourne that I really liked, that really stuck with me and still sticks with me to this day. You might have seen it into my short little picture video where it says Tonight, a tribute to old Jim PBS Kids. It's got the song called Ode LA Tonight playing. I remember when I was like doing a radio station for my dad on 87.7. I had it like on low power so it can only like reach like a quarter mile or a fifth of a mile. Yeah, that was one of the songs I played from like, it was maybe like 2014 or 15, I'm not sure. Maybe 14, I'm not really sure. But yeah, one of those songs was Old LA Tonight by Ozzy Osbourne. And yeah, that's a hitter in a way for me, it really is. Oh man. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. It's very handy that I was able to remember, like you know how I had that pre-birthday dread and just about getting older in general. Now, throughout the past birthdays, in general, I'm fine, but for some time now, for some years, I've had this unusually bad fatigue, right? This fatigue for some years now. Now, earthing has helped in some ways, but like I said, I have not done it really as much as I should, so I really need to get to do that more. Whatever else I need to do. But yeah, wouldn't you know it, on August 1st, of course, because it's Friday, that's one of the days Nintendo Capri Sun streams. And he actually responded to a message in Twitch chat that I put in. And I asked him, like, he was about to wrap up, and I already tried a few times, and I'm not angry at him or anything like that. Like, that happens where messages get missed, right? And he was, like, doing Mario Paint. Anyway, so he was wrapping up the stream, so he was, like, looking at the messages for a bit before closing up. And he read my message where I said, any advice for a guy turning 30? So I feel like I'm under this impression, like, once you get into 30 or something, that's when it starts to kind of go like, uh-oh. And when I talk about like my fatigue and other weird stuff that's going on with me, that does make me worry. But I clipped this, I screen capped this, and I put this audio file. So I'm gonna play this from him, Nintendo Capri Sun, him responding to the text, the Twitch chat I put. So here goes. Yeah. So, you know, what he said, it's a thing. Nothing really much changes, and I really hope that. The only thing I really do want to change, really, then other than me getting to know more things, having more useful information on me, and is to become healthier again. Because if I don't, I fear what's going to happen. I do. I've been thinking about this, like how tired I am on a regular basis. I will say that I probably not drinking anywhere near as much water as I should, but it's so hard, especially with plain water, like purified water or distilled water. It's hard to make myself drink. It's very rare that I really like drink. Like I'll have some, right? Like I'm not sure. Like it's like, you know how big a coffee mug is? Like I usually like from what I'm thinking, I might per day. It might only be like maybe that and a half at the most per day. I think probably lucky. You're probably lucky if I get like if I drink like 2 coffee mugs worth of water a day. Now, when I like go to drive-throughs, like if I get a Coke or a Sprite, like that's looks a lot more larger than you know freaking coffee mug. But I don't go out to do that every day. Like some few days of the week, you know. Wow, this camcorder and myself are starting to get hot. But yeah, like some days out of the week, like maybe, like I had to decrease after a while, like back in the fall because of someone acting a certain way, so I had to stop going with them. But since summer's here, and my one of my uncles, we're taking for a walk and trying to make things good for him. He might think he might have dementia, but it should be no surprise coming from me that I would not know that for sure. But yeah, so I have increased my outings. Now, when I say outings, I mean going in the car and going to the grocery store with the gang, if you call them that, right? And I'm not like including him into it and like making him a bad guy. I'm talking about more like the general like two other people I have to deal with, regular. Which sometimes some days are better than others. But a lot of times, like if on those quote stay home days, I still like a lot of times I either go for a walk or I'll record something or just watch something, right? Or go for a walk. I don't know, fucking know. Yeah, it's just we're trying to do good for him. I don't know what else I'm gonna say here. Maybe I should wrap this up. Go ahead, turn this camera off. Get on my offline workstation, my other station. I have a desktop and I also have a laptop. My laptop's my offline. Then my other desktop, Windows 10, is an online, which I can take on the internet. And I'll probably have that special coffee, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to sleep, well enough, and, like early enough, because, I have that thing where it's hard for me to just go to sleep. I have to really like get physically tired to really go to sleep. Yeah, I'll just get that coffee and pretty soon. I'm gonna process this video, maybe go get some old throwbacks to put on channel. And yeah, and then go have that coffee, have that music, listen to music on shuffle with a playlist that runs on a certain logic behind it. While drinking that, and go on my little space trip, and then take a shower. All right. So this is Erwin Yo, also known as Sam Lambert. Today is my 30th birthday. 30th birthday. Thanks for watching, and see you around. Bye. Oh yeah, and speaking of keep going, that last part NCS said, you just gotta keep going and do what you gotta do. I am very pleased with myself recording parts for Let's Plays. 2023, like I said, August was the only month in 2023 I didn't record anything for Let's Play. And then 2024, July was the only month I didn't record anything for Let's Play. My report right now is that so far in 2025 this year, I've recorded parts for Let's Plays every month. I have not missed a month yet. So hopefully I don't get sick in August and be knocked out too badly to make more Let's Play stuff. Maybe this will be the year where I've recorded parts for Let's Plays every single month of the year. We have August, September, October, November, and December to go, baby. Looking forward to it. Now I sign off. Goodbye. Now let's test out the Zoom again. That's the right one. Uh-huh. Oh my god, it looked like it was being sucked inwards. That's great. Holy shit. Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, you gotta love it. You know it's a trend with me. You know this keeps continuing like this. But yeah, back to, do what you gotta do, you know, there's a lot of different works. I mean, yes, there's a Let's Playing too, and I know it's more than Let's Playing because there's like a lot of hidden messages and stuff that I say, but it's also like me making appearances in Discord, and it, you know, it's a lot more than just playing Spies vs. Mercs. It's the voice chatting and the things we say and feel of each other, the service that I render for their and my mental health, and not only theirs, but those people who I meet too. Just keep on going, keep doing what you gotta do, you know. There's a lot of work to be done. I definitely want to make a real deposit into this planet before I go. And don't worry, I plan to stay around. I hurt before, and there's going to be more hurting. I witnessed the things, and I'm going to witness a hell of a lot more things too. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be just fine. I'll be just fucking fine, bro. I'm here. I'm gonna stay here. I'll try. I'll try. Even for the ugly parts of the movie. Oh boy. Almost kind of excited in a way, as weird as it might sound in some ways, but hey, you know what? In some ways, but in some other ways, you get something out of it. Alright, now let's see if we sign off this time. Wait for me. I'm not done with you yet. Too funny, too funny. So, how many times? Well, only one more than 20. And one of those days was the 67-day streak achieved this year. Oh yeah. Oh, I like the way this looks. Does it make me bad? Now I wash my hands. Recording number 5 out of this session. Oh my god. Wonder if I should use AI to make Sonic Adventure to call. Guides you, talks to you, and heals you. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing an orange shirt. Oh yeah, to call, orange.